So real fast, shout out to Johnny X, Johnny NIX 88 for posting this on Twitter. But this is all the RAS scores for our draft class. And keep in mind, starting off right away, Jordan Battle last year had an awful RAS score. He is still an amazingly great player. RAS scores does not tell the whole entire story. Yes, it can show a player who ends up being really good, and the RAS score is also really good. But there's certain positions also where the RAS score doesn't really matter. For example, McKinley Jackson got a 3.08. He's a nose tackle, so he's not really going to have a high RAS score because he's not very that athletic. RAS is pretty much relative athletic score. It's pretty much like you're getting yourself an athletic freak. You're getting yourself guys that, can play the next level at a higher level, right? So, starting off right away, Marius Mims, obviously up the board there as one of the best options here, 9.59. Keep in mind, this is all out of 10. Chris Jenkins, 8.99. Jermaine Burton, 9.09. McKinley Jackson, again, like I said before, 3.08. Eric All was at NA. He didn't get one. Josh Newton, 6.41. Tanner McLaughlin, 7.66. Cedric Johnson, 9.28. Anthony had a 6.62. And Matt Lee had an 8.68. Which actually, kind of excited about. I'm still excited about Matt Lee. He's one player, especially with the fact that we could potentially move around the offensive line and see what he can do. I'm actually really excited about that pick, and I'm excited to see what happens. But again, like I said, nose tackle wise, McKinley Jackson, he's a nose tackle, okay? He's not going to be that athletic. The guy is just a run stuffer. That's really what he is. He's a big guy. I think he's like 325 pounds. His job is just to clog the hole and stop the run. While Chris Jenkins, I feel like can get a little bit more of run stuffing and also a little bit more pass rushing. So he's more athletic. And again, different colleges also. Iowa, Michigan. Michigan just won a natty. They had a great defense. Again, more reasons why one is going to have a better RAS score than the other. But I don't think, I'm not trying to say colleges has anything to do with them, saying that what the player was asked to do and how they had to perform, it goes into how athletic they're going to be, right? So, overall wise, I'm excited, I know I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say that, we're out of this draft class, 4 of the 10 are actually going to make the team, and the other 6 are going to get cut. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is that 40% of picks from round 4 to round 7 do not make the NFL roster. That's just the fact of the matter is, what happened last year where we had all 7 of our picks make the NFL roster, that's very... I'm sorry, no, actually 8 picks. 8? 9? I think it was 9 picks last year. That's very rare that every draft pick you have makes an NFL, makes your roster. That doesn't usually happen. So I do agree. I think that there will be some players who do hit the practice squad. Tanner McLaughlin might be a guy who hits the practice squad in the end. Cedric Johnson might be a guy who hits the practice squad in the end. Anthony also probably will too. Matt Lee, I hope he does make the roster just for depth purposes. But I think everyone else above this, Josh Newton, Eric All, Jackson, Burton, Jenkins, and Mims, I think they will all make the active roster 100%. But I think, kind of in this area from Tanner down to Anthony, we'll probably see these guys end up on the practice squad and not making the roster, or maybe they'll get signed to another roster, right? But I don't know why people are saying that on Twitter and acting like this is like, oh, this is how bad we drafted. This is how awful our draft class was. No, that's just a typical thing. Yoshi being an amazing 6th round pick is not... That's not usually what happens, okay? Usually you don't have a 6th round pick that goes off like Yoshi does. Okay, I know 5th round was Chase Brown and Brad Robbins. Those making the team and doing good. Well, I guess Brad Robbins. But Chase Brown making the team and being the future. Again, even that is, for most teams, not as likely, okay? Anything above that, 6th round, 7th round, usually doesn't happen. So, again, at the end of the day, we'll see how this draft class turns out. But, it's very possible that only, 5 of these guys, I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's very possible 6 or 7 of these guys, only 6 or 7 make the roster in the end, and the rest are practice squad guys. But that's the point of the draft. the point of the draft is the first couple rounds. The first round is when you get your actual true playmakers, stars, and you really want to hit the home runs. But round 2 to round 7 is really a crapshoot at the end of the day. You're getting players, and the later rounds you go, the harder it is to get good players. But that's kind of where you're finding your gems and you're building your team. So if they don't make the roster, that's just a part of the building process, right? So again, seen too many people talking trash about our draft class, and I said this a million times. You can't trash our draft class until our draft class, a couple years down the line, goes through the whole cycles, because it's idiotic. It's idiotic that people are already trashing our draft class. I think our draft class is good. I think there will be some guys again who make the roster and some guys won't. It is what it is. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.